it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for my annual top 10 series where I take apart different parts of my makeup collection and give you my current top 10 favorites. I'm not doing every aspect of my collection. There are certain parts of my collection that I just don't really have a top 10 necessarily, or certain things that I don't even own 10 in. There's a couple things like bronzers and foundations and stuff like that that I just like didn't even own enough to do a top 10, but I have recently done ranking videos on those specific categories. So if you're curious about my absolute favorites, you can check those out. I also do my entire makeup collection and declutter series at the end of every year. So the most up-to-date one started last year in like November, December. So you can check those out if you're curious about everything that I own. But now that it's summer, it is time for my top 10 series. In this first one, we're gonna kick it off with cream/liquid blushes. Last year, I kind of combined my blushes and just did a top 10 overall, and it had a mixture of cream and powder, but this time I think I'm gonna do two separate ones. I think I did that 2 years ago as well, just because I use them for different moods, you know what I mean? Like I have my favorite creams, I have my favorite powders, so that's what we're gonna do. And this one specifically is my creams and liquids. At this moment, I haven't even filmed the top 10 portion yet, so I haven't like gathered my thoughts fully on what my favorites are, so I'm really excited to see what I end up picking. I'm curious what you think my favorites are. Leave your guesses down below and don't cheat. I'm curious what you think my favorites are just based on what I use. I would also love to hear what your favorite cream and liquid blushes are. Please leave them down below. I would love to know. Before we hop into the video itself, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's part of my latest Get Ready With Me / May reading wrap-up video. As far as my accessories today go, these earrings are from Spooky Doodle Club on Etsy, and I don't know where this choker is from because it's quite old. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and get into my top 10 cream and liquid blushes. All right, let's get into this top 10 series. Like I mentioned in the intro, this video is all about my like cream and liquid blushes. So I narrowed down my top 10. This is always really difficult because I love all of these. I use these interchangeably pretty often. Obviously, I use things outside of this top 10 as well. So if you think I'm missing something, maybe I do adore it. It just didn't make the top 10, but I did the best I could with the vibes in my own brain to decide on the top 10 for this video. Kicking it off with number 10, this is one I've had for a hot minute, but it is the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in the shade Nude Flush. I decided to include this one because I do really genuinely enjoy it. I think it's such a lovely formula. I always meant to pick up more in this formula because it's just so easy to blend. I love using this with a sponge preferably, but I could use any of these with a brush as well. And that color is just gorgeous. I love like kind of a neutrally brown tone. It's just everything. Number 9, I decided to give to my Tower 28 blush in the shade Magic Hour. This is another one I've had for a hot minute. And while I haven't reached for this one in particular in a while, when I was going through my blushes, it made me really want to. I really like this formula. It's very dewy, glowy, soft on the skin. I like the way it pounces in and mixes with my foundation. It's such a dream to work with, and I really, really like this color as well. It just makes me feel like I have the cutest little sun on my face, and I decided to throw this one in the mix too because I think it deserves it. Number 8 is my Colourpop blush sticks in the shade Coastal Drive. I love the Colourpop blush sticks. I think I only own 2 now, the 2 that I'm actually going to talk about in this video, just because I felt like in last year's declutter that I didn't need to keep 5 million when I had other shades and different things that I also loved. But this is one of the ones that I kept. Again, it's just really creamy and blendable. I love that like rusty brownie tone. Oh, it's just so good. These blend like an absolute dream. I think these are fantastic. It's very likely this one doesn't exist anymore. I'll link everything I can in this video down below. Just because it's one of my favorites doesn't mean it's still available. And we know Colourpop loves to discontinue things, but this one is still a favorite of mine. I think it's gorgeous. You're gonna see a common theme with these blushes. I either like a really cute pink or like a brownie rusty tone, especially when it comes to creams. When we get into powders, you'll see a lot of oranges. Moving on to number 7, it's my Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Hope. This is one of those cute pinky ones. It's just adorable. I love this formula. It's so pigmented and these blend for days. This one in particular, I believe is one of the dewy ones, which I do prefer versus the matte ones just because they blend even better, but I do like the matte ones as well, don't get me wrong. But Hope is just one that I've reached for time and time again. I think it's such a lovely color. I love that cutesy pink vibe, but I also feel like it's not too pink where it blends in with neutrals really, really easily as well. Overall, overall, it's just a really solid pinky cream. Moving on to number 6, rounding out the bottom 5 of this top 10. This is the Sigma Cream Blush in the shade Coral Dawn. They only just came out with these a few months ago, but I fell in love. This is one of my favorite cream blush formulas of all time now. It's just so creamy and dreamy. It blends into the skin so super nice. Again, one of those kind of cutesy pinky shades that I adore. I like kind of this corally pink vibe. I think it is so pretty. I wear shades like this a lot in the spring and summer specifically, but this is just a formula I really get down with. I just find with my sponge, it pounces into the skin so nicely and just makes everything blend together. I absolutely love it. I even like wearing this on days where I skip foundation. It's just so blendable and perfect, and I've yet to have a bad day with this formula. Moving on to the top 5, kicking it off with Rare Beauty's Melting Blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. I've loved this for years. I love the melting blushes. I'm honestly itching for them to come out with new shades because they only have, I think, the same ones. I don't think they've expanded the line at all. And it's just such a good line. These are so pretty. They melt into the skin so insanely good. Like, calling them a melting blush was the perfect name. I feel like these are the perfect beginner cream blush as well because it's really hard to overdo it. They're foolproof. They're so easy and dreamy. I really like this color too just because it's so soft and natural, and it's still kind of pinky, but it just blends into the skin so perfectly. It is such a good go-to. Like, if I don't know what I want to wear, this one will always look good. It's just a perfect blush. But I would love for them to come out with more shades of this. I love the other 4 that I have as well, but this one I reach for the most, and I am itching to see more shades. Number 4 is my other Colourpop blush stick. This one's in the shade Winona Forever. Look at that. This rusty, grungy goodness. There's not much better than that. Look how beautiful. If you love a grungy tone, if you love a dark, rich, yummy cheek, this is just perfection. I wear this all the time in the fall and winter. It's just so good. Again, I just love this formula. It's so creamy. I cannot get enough. This is one that was discontinued way too soon, unfortunately. I hope they bring this back. Hopefully it'll be back when I go to link it, but I am not hopeful. But this is one of my absolute all-time favorites. It's just such a good color. It goes with the grungy vibes that I do a lot of the time, and it's just such a good shade. Number 3 is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush in the shade Worth. I literally only just got my hands on this like 3 weeks ago as I'm filming this, if that, but it quickly stole my heart. Again, it's another one of those dewy liquid blushes, but this color, I'm just obsessed with the way this blends onto the skin. It makes it look like you have like the tiniest bit of sunburn. It looks like you were out having fun and doing the things that I don't typically do because I'm not an outside in the summer kind of girl, but it makes my skin look like it, and it's just so pretty. I love the way it blends and meshes. It's just, oh my gosh, I fell in love with it so fast. I know I'm gonna repeat myself a lot in this top 10 series because it's like me just gushing over 10 things for however many minutes. But this one, it just, when you know, you know. Sometimes you just try a product and it's like, wow, this is a new favorite of all time. That's what happened with this one. I already knew I loved the formula. Again, it's that dewy one, so it blends like extra good onto the skin. It's so pigmented. And then just something about that color really made me happy. Number 2 is another Sigma cream blush. This one's in the shade Corda Rosa. Such a good go-to. This one is like, almost gives me similar feelings to Nearly Neutral from Rare Beauty, the melting blush, but it's like, it's different. It's not the exact same color, and this is like more pigmented, but it gives me similar vibes in the sense that it's like, if I don't know what to wear, I could go for this one every single time. Again, I'm obsessed with that formula. It's probably my favorite cream blush formula, that or the one I'm going to talk about next. It's really good. There's just such beautiful colors. I have 4 from this line specifically. I don't know how many there are total, but I love all 4 of them. They're all magnificent, but this one definitely takes the cake. And finally, last but not least, I don't think number 1 will be a surprise because it was my favorite last year as well. It's the Melt Cosmetics Cream Blush in the shade Polished. I just cannot get over it. This was my favorite blush last year, and it remains my favorite cream blush this year. Just look at that color. That rich corally pink with the gold going through it. It's so stunning. One of the things I love about these cream blushes from Melt is that sometimes there's days that I intended on using a cream product, but then I've already like put powder all over my face and I'm like, great, now I can't use it. These I can still use. Somehow I can layer these lightly over powder and they don't look cakey. I don't know what magic is involved in that, but it's wonderful. I love that color. It's just one of my favorite things. I love a corally pink cheek. I love the gold reflect. I love that it's so glowy. It's my favorite cream blush at the moment and was last year as well, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think the only way that this can get replaced is if one of the other formulas that I adore comes out with the same color. It's just so good. I have multiple cream blushes from Melt and they're all amazing. This one specifically though is my #1 favorite, and yeah. Here's another look at all 10 of the blushes. I'm personally very happy with this lineup. I think these are all very cute. Again, clearly I have a vibe. These are all very much in the same kind of realm, but this is what I go for when I go for cream blushes. I do have some like dark tones and bold tones and creams and liquids that I do like and reach for, but as far as my top 10 goes, my trieds and trues, the ones that I'll reach for all the time, that goes to these, and I am super excited about them. Out of these 10, which is your favorite? Are you obsessed with any of these as much as I am? Let me know. Let's zoom out and finish this up, shall we? Thank you so much for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, please leave down below what your favorites are. I would love to know if you have any similar favorites to me. I just want to chat about blush with you. I'm looking forward to doing the rest of this series. There are many more videos to come over the next probably through July. So just stay tuned for that. I cannot wait. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me emojis that are the colors of the blushes that you enjoy. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I'm battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe. If you want to see more of my videos, I'm posting most days here as well. And feel free to join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get a little bat badge by your name. You'll get exclusive little emojis, and you will get a members only get ready with me once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.